There's something quite exciting about riding at night, isn't there? The empty roads, the darkness with the bright headlights. You kind of feel like you shouldn't really be out, and yet here you are. And the world's kind of this playground that you're not really supposed to be playing in, but no one else is there to stop you, you know? I do like it. Yeah, back when I was living in the city, I used to like going for night rides as well. The city is quiet, it's empty, there's only a handful of cars knocking around. You've got all these empty roads and I go whizzing around them. And not even like going fast, but you're just making constant, consistent progress, which you can never normally do in the city in the daytime. I'd go down to the seafront, I'd go along the Barbican, along the waterfront all the way along. I like the cool air, which is nice a lot of the time. And yeah, I like the peace and quiet. Not time to worry too much about people. It does vary, you know. There are positives and negatives to all of this. For example, there are less people around, pedestrians particularly, at night, but particularly in the city, the pedestrians you do see tend to be drunk and coming home from clubs and pubs, so they are less dangerous, or they're more dangerous per person, but there's less of them, so it's dangerous in a different way. Country roads are an interesting one as well. On one hand, you get dazzled by all the headlights, and you get dazzled by, particularly nowadays, all these LEDs and all of this like nonsense. It can be quite hard to see where you're going with like some of these lights are just crazy, man. People keep saying, oh, they're going to look into that, like RAC's looking into it and stuff like that. Like, I don't think anything will come of it really. The flip side of that is, if you're out on a country road single track, you actually get more warning than you otherwise would, because the headlights come around the corners first, so you can know when a car's coming before you meet it. You get like a little bit of forewarning, which you don't get in the daytime. So again, it's differently dangerous, but it's safer in its own way. But I just like it. I say it feels like an adventure. There's a video I really like from Moto Geo, and he doesn't normally do the artsy videos. He normally does like the more documentary style stuff. Got there eventually. But he did a video called Night Ride, where he took a Triumph Scrambler and sort of led into the arty stuff. It was really cool, but he says in that, like, not all adventures need to be hundreds of miles and days on the road. It can be taking the scenic route to go meet a friend for lunch or dinner. He gets on this bike and he rides it through the city. It's all, the video's all in black and white, and he's just riding this bike through kind of empty city, and he has some shots where he's up in the hills above the city, and the city's still got all these lights and bright lights, but he's up there alone in the dark. Just something about it really scratches an itch for me. And even now, like, we've passed through Saltash just there, heading out to the countryside, and there's just nothing there. Like, the light ends here, and all you have is this tiny little pocket of wild that you push ahead of you with your headlight, which genuinely is pretty tiny on a bike. I just catch up to a Cyclops here with his one headlight, one brake light, so hey, you've got this bubble of the world that exists, and everything outside of it's just dark. It's just you and this one little patch of road. It's quite evocative. It's quite, I don't know, it feels like an adventure, a mysterious little adventure. And I still get that buzz in the car as well. Like, it still feels like you don't belong, like you shouldn't be out. It's something I need to get back into, something I really need to just make the effort to get out on the bike at night, just jump out on an evening. I tend to be a night owl anyway. I don't do well mornings, but I stay up quite late. So just, yeah, jump on the bike at some point and go hit up some lanes, hit some corners, experience this while the world sleeps. Get out there and see it. And I look at the A30 and the dual carriageway. You can see the dual carriageway from near where I live, and I always look out and see all the trucks and stuff going past, and the world that they live in is completely different to mine. They see a different side to everything. They see a different group of people, a different environment, you know? I used to work night shifts for a few months briefly at one of my previous jobs, and just getting up when everyone's going to bed and going to work in the dark and going back in the dark, and it's a very topsy-turvy way of living, but it's rewarding in its own way. And this world is run by morning people, daytime morning people, and a lot of us night owls get penalised by society, you know. If you sleep from like, you go to bed at like 9-10 p.m, you get up at 7 or 6, you're praised as a go-getter, getting up and starting the day early and hitting up, and you know. But if you go to bed at 12 to 1 and get up at, you know, 8 to 9, well, suddenly you're lazy, you're slacking, and you're, you know, you're a layer. Well, you've got the same amount of sleep and the same amount of work, but suddenly it's frowned upon. This upside down world that you can find yourself in is quite a fun place to be. I say, it's not always fun. It is colder. I've got my thicker gloves on, I've got my hoodie on. When you get caught in the rain with the headlights coming at you, it's not fun. You can't see very much at all. It's going to be very distracting. But for the moments like this, where it's cold but it's crisp and it's clear, and the roads are empty apart from this dude, and you can just ride unobstructed, there's a purity to that. There's a peace and a tranquility that you find in a kind of a zen state as you ride along. It's like people will people watch in the day, and you watch life going past you, and you watch the world going by and everyone rushing a bike. But there's a pleasure in itself just to be out at night and watch the world sleep while you're not, and you walk the empty streets, and there's nothing but all the little tiny cogs of people that make the world actually exist, all the people that society doesn't really think about, that it would just collapse if they were suddenly absent. It's just you and them and the foxes, the nocturnal creatures. The LED headlights do spoil it a bit. I'm getting twin mirrors full of LEDs right now, but it's okay. I'll say I'll link that MotoGeo video. I get the feeling it wasn't really supposed to be that serious. I think he was probably intentionally hamming it up a bit in the way that a lot of these custom bike kind of lifestyle videos tend to, which I unashamedly like. I am fully a hipster, so you can probably tell one now if you watch the channel for a while. And I like that one ironically, but I think, I don't know, it's really scratched an itch, this video, for me. It really ticked a box. You know, I've not really ridden the Magna at night much. This is really the first proper run, so it's a good test of the headlight capabilities. They seem pretty decent so far, to be honest. I didn't expect much. I saw some videos a while back that said that they weren't very good on this, and people were changing them out for those ugly eBay like LED daybreaker ones that the Harley guys use. But this is perfectly sufficient for my needs. Yeah, I encourage everyone, rural or urban, there's enjoyment from both of them. Just once or twice, get out on the bike, experience the world as it sleeps. And I think you'll find, if it's not something you've done before, it might be quite an exciting experience in a lot of ways. People fear riding at night sometimes. They fear, I don't know, not being able to see where they're going, like they fear the darkness, and you gotta embrace it sometimes. Be aware of the limitations, be aware of the range of your headlight, be aware of how easily you can lose sight when you get a bright light ahead of you, but enjoy it. Enjoy the world. Don't deny yourself half a day's worth of life. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to leave that with you. Go out and feel the world. Watch it sleep. It's a level of tranquility that gives you, even more so than in the daytime, gives you time to sit alone with your thoughts. No distraction, even less distractions than normal, because you're not having to worry so much about traffic around you and where cars are and where everyone is, and you can just ride in a much more purer sense. It can be quite zen in a way. So get out and enjoy. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of music, I think, as I follow through the rest of these lanes. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Ride safe.